Okay, so we'll start to discuss the questions from grade 11. Grade 11, unit number 4 and 5 together. Because unit number 4 is financial statements and the unit number 5 is adjustments of the financial statements. So since both the units are connected together, we'll discuss the questions from unit 4 and 5. So there are a few questions in 2016. First, finish off these MCQ questions of the 2016. I'll give maybe a couple of minutes. Complete the MCQ questions of 2016. Okay, so let's do one by one. 2016 paper 1. Question number 18. Out of the following transactions, which influence to reduce the equity? The equity will decrease due to two reasons. Equity will decrease if there are any drawings and if there are any expenses or losses. These are the two reasons why equity will decrease. So this is additional capital. Additional capital will increase the income will increase the equity. Paying to creditors subject to a 10% discount. When you are paying to creditors, we will get discount. That is an income. Discount received is an income. Cash discount received is an income. Paying insurance charges. Insurance is an expense. Then for the question number 18, answer is 4. Next question. Question 33. Sandamali's business rent a building on 1st January 2015 for a monthly rent of 5,000. Monthly rent 5,000. For the year ended 31st March 2015. 50,000 has been paid in this building as at 31st December 2015. Then understand, you took the building on 1st January 15. So what's the end? 31st December 15. That means you have used it for 12 months. You have used it for 12 months. So in this question, they are clearly saying for a month rent is 5,000. Then for a month 5,000 means lamai. For 12 months 60,000. But the problem is, out of 60,000 we have paid only 50,000. Not yet paid 10,000. So this not yet paid 10,000 only, we will call it as what? Accrued rent. Accrued rent. Not yet paid 10,000. Now let's see. The balance of the paid building rent 10,000, accrued building rent in the statement of financial position. Accrued building rent in the balance sheet. So this is a current liability for us. We have to pay it. Until we pay, we are liable. Until we pay, we are liable. So it's a current liability. So current liabilities are there in the balance sheet, if not in the statement of financial position. Therefore, our answer is the second one. Second one is the answer. Second option. Don't just write the answers. I have told before this also. While I am explaining, write the answers. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. question 34. Following are information regarding to a motor vehicle purchased by the company. Motor vehicle. Purchase price 600. Scrap or residual value 50,000. Useful life. Effective life 5 years. Useful life 5 years. If the business depreciate the motor vehicle on straight line method, how much is the depreciation? So we learn how to calculate the depreciation. Depreciation equals cost minus scrap divided by the useful life. So cost is 600,000. Scrap is 50,000. Useful life 5 years. Then 550,000 divided by 5 years. Then for a year, 110,000 depreciation. For a year, 110,000 depreciation. That is there in the first option. First option. Okay. So now let's move to the set of questions. So generally in your paper, these kind of question you are getting. They will give a small scenario or trial balance like this, or certain balances of companies, and they will give a set of information like this. So what are the things they have given? Following are the certain balances extracted from Saddam's business as at 31st December 2015. So they have given few information, and additional information they have given: building should be depreciated 5% per annum. Stock balance is end of the year. So this is the last day, end 40,000. This is stock opening, first day, opening. This is closing. Two different types of stock. First one, what they ask in the cost of sale of the business. How to find the cost of sale? We study. Cost of sales equals opening inventory plus purchase minus closing inventory. So how much is the opening inventory of this question? 30,000. 30,000. How much purchases are there? Here 140,000 purchases are there. 140,000. How much clothes in inventory is there, Lamai? Under the additional information we gave, no, 40,000. Then what is the cost of sales? Cost of sales means the cost of the items that you sold. Cost of the items that you sold. 130,000. 170,000 minus 40,000 means 130,000. So the question that I am asking from you now, did I do the calculation proper? This is an area where most of the students have missed in this particular paper. Most of the students, they have missed this part in this particular paper. What is that? Lot of students miss this carriage. Lot of students miss the carriage inverse. So this is completely wrong. Opening inventory plus purchase plus carriage inverse minus closing inventory. This one will give you the cost of sales. 30,000, 140, carriage inverse 8, 4. Then what is the cost of sales value that we are getting? 178 minus 40, 138,000. This is the correct answer. So that answer is there in the second option. That answer is there in the second option. Okay. Now let's move to the question 36. What is the gross profits of the business? They're asking us to calculate the gross profits. Question 36. So how to calculate the gross profits? From the sales, once you deduct the cost of sales, you will get the gross profits. How much sales are there in this question? Sales, we have 200,000. Sales, we have 200,000. Cost of sales, 138,000. Now you see, if your cost of sales is wrong, this question also wrong. So gross profit is 62,000. It's there in which option? Third option. Next one. Question 37. Select the answer which shows distribution expense and admin expense of this business in correct order. So under the distribution expense, we studied the sales promotion expenses, distribution delivery expenses, and customer related expenses. Customer related expenses like discount given, bad debts, those are distribution expenses. Admin expenses this electricity, water, insurance, aids, building rent. These are the things will come under the admin expenses. So they are asking it in the correct order. Advertising expense is a distribution expense. Discount allowed also distribution expense. Customer connected no lama. Depreciation of the building admin expense. Electricity charges also admin expense. Advertising distribution expense, admin expense. Electricity charges admin expense, discount allowed distribution expense. So they are asking distribution expense after that admin expense in the correct order. So distribution expense after the admin expense, second admin expense, which is there in the third option. Third option is the answer. Question 37. Third option is the answer. Question 38. Question 38. Next one they are asking, how much is the net value? Net value. Net value. That means after depreciating. After depreciating. So let's see how to take it. Cost minus accumulated depreciation. How much is the cost of the building? 400,000. How much is the accumulated depreciation? Provision is another word. It is an old word actually. So these are old papers. Provision is another word for accumulated. Accumulated depreciation, we used to call it as provision for depreciation, those days. So for the beginning of the year, 100,000. That means this year depreciation not yet done. For the beginning of the year, opening day. For the beginning of the year, 100,000. So this year one, we have to add it. This year one. So how much is the this year's depreciation? They are telling 5%. 5%. Then 400,000, 5%. 400,000, 5%. 10% now 40,000, 5% now 20. Then 400,000 minus 120,000. It is 280,000. Which option? It's there in the first option. First option. Next. Question 39. What is the amount of current liabilities as at 31st December 2015? So what are the current liabilities we have? This is a current asset. Overdraft is a current liability. Creditor is a current liability. Electricity charges is an expense, admin expense. Advertising is a distribution expense. Cash balance, current asset. Discount allowed, distribution expense. So how much is the current liabilities that we have, Lamai? 18,000 and 30,000. 48,000. Question number 39. 18,000 and 30,000. 48,000. It is there in which option? Fourth option. The answer is there in the fourth option. Question 40. The value of the total assets. The value of the total assets. The value of the total assets. Creditors, current liability. Debtors, current asset. Creditors, current liability. Creditors means trade payables. Payables. There we have to pay. We have to pay. So what are the assets we have as at 31st December? Haridana, last day. As at last day, what are the assets that we have? One is we have the building. Building at a cost of 400, depreciated 120, carrying value 280. And we had closing inventory. Why am I taking closing inventory? Because they are asking the balance for the last day. Last day inventory is 40,000. 40,000. This is non-current asset. This is current asset. Then we have debtors. Debtors, how much? Debtors, where are you? 25,000. Debtors, 25,000. And we had some cash. Cash, 12,000. Cash, 12,000. Then what's the total of current assets? 65,000, 67,000, 77,000. Then how much is total assets? $77,357,000. Which option? It's there in the third option. 357,000 is there in the third option. Okay. Now we'll move to the next one. Paper 2. Start to do people. Start to do. Okay. Paper 2. Question 7. Roman 1. B. Two elements included in statement of financial position. So we have 5 elements of accounts: assets, liability, equity, income, expense nilama. Out of these 5 elements, these 3 elements are there in statement of financial position. These 2 elements are there in statement of profit or loss. So this one we'll call it as balance sheet. This one we'll call it as income statement. So out of these 3 elements, you have to write any 2, whatever the 2 that you like. Asset, liability, equity. Out of these 3 elements, you can write any 2 that you like. Okay. So I want you all to do the next question within 15 minutes. 1-5. Within 15 minutes, quickly you have to do. Now you can't take time. Within 15 minutes, you have to complete the question. Quickly put the format, that a button, that a button. Quickly you have to finish it. Okay. So we'll do Ravi's business. Ravi's. So for this one, you will be getting marks. Trading, write in the heading. Statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December 2015. For the year ended. For the year ended for the year ended 31st December 2015. When you are writing the name, it's always better to write the name which is given in the question. Ravi's trading business statement of financial position as at 31st December 2015. Okay. So we'll write one by one. Sales is there, 350,000. Sales, 350,000. Then we can go to the cost of sales, opening inventory. How much is the opening stock? 10,000. 10,000. Then purchases plus purchases, 280,000. You also have to do it in my speed. If not, you will not be able to tackle the question in your exam within the given time. So you got to be little fast. And let's see, do we have any carriage inwards, loading, unloading charges? No. In this question, nothing is given. Carriage inwards not there, loading, unloading not there. So we'll keep like 2 lines. And we'll move to the other income. So what are the other income that we have in this question? Let's see. I have discount received 5,000. Discount received 5,000. Discount received 5,000. Next one. I can move to the expenses. So we'll start with the distribution expenses. What are the distribution expenses that I have in this question? One is discount allowed, 3,200. Discount allowed, 3,200. Okay. Why did I put these numbers directly? Now, when you practice questions automatically, you will also get that learning. You have to practice questions again and again and again. Even the same question is fine. If you do like 10 times, not 10 times, like same question, like if you do 10 questions again, you will realize generally what are the things will have an adjustment in later, what are the things will not have an adjustment. Now here I can get an understanding, it's very clear. Here we have an adjustment only for the debtors and the depreciation. So closing stock amount you have to write. So all the values I can directly write it in the column. When you practice questions, you will get that learning. Inside the column, we are the Puluvan the very. You have to practice again and again. You have to practice. Somehow. So we recorded the discount allowed 3,200. And we have the advertising 12,500. Advertising 12,500. Then I'll leave like maybe 2 lines. Then I'll move to the admin expenses. Management pay. We have administrative expense, admin salary, 14,000. Admin salary, 14,000. And we have rates. Rates means, before this also I have taught you. When I was doing the unit number 2, if I'm not unit number 2, accounting equation. If I'm not mistaken, it's not the introduction for account. Rates are like something where we are, it's not tax. Businesses, they have to pay a small amount for municipal council. Because municipal council only, they maintain the roads, they maintain the payments, They will have nice trees in the payment, vases in the payment, flower vases sometimes. So these things they will maintain. So for them to maintain those things, to keep the road clean, we have an expense. So we businesses have to pay a small amount annually, like 5,000, 10,000. Okay, small amount we have to pay we businesses every year. So that is rates. So that's a part of admin expense. How much is the value? 8,000. Then we can again leave like another 2 lines. Then we can move to the finance expenses. Finance expense. Under the finance expense, we can write the interest. Bank loan interest 3,000. Remember, generally in the trial balance, we have the paid amounts. Interest 3,000. That is also done. Now we can move to the balance sheet. Non-current assets. This heading is very important because for this heading also generally you will be getting marks. Accumulated depreciation and carrying value. In this question, we have a building 400,000, land and building 400,000, land and building 400,000, and we have a machinery for 150,000. For 150,000. That's all. Now we can move to the, we can leave like 2 lines and current assets. So always current asset first sheet is reserved for the closing inventory. So don't write anything there. Then we'll write the debtors. How much is the debtors that we have? 30,000. Then we can write cash in hand. 7,300. Then we can take the total assets. Then we have the equity. Under the equity, we can write the capital. How much is the capital? 500,000. Then we can leave maybe like 3 lines. And we can write non-current liability, bank loan. Bank loan is there 50,000. This is a hidden adjustment. Hidden adjustment. Hidden adjustment. Then finally we have the current liabilities. Current liability, creditor. How much is the creditor? 13,000. So we recorded all the values which is there in the trial balance. As I told you, you got to do it in the speed that I am doing. මම කරන speed එකට ඔයාලා කරන්න බැරි නම් ප්‍රශ්න, big problem. If you can't do it in the speed that I am doing, then there is big problem. First one, closing stock 30,000. Adjustments I told you always in 2 places. Last day, 31st December, last day. So what are the 2 places? One is under the cost of sales. minus closing inventory 30,000. Under the current asset, closing inventory 30,000. Next one. Machine should be depreciated 10%. So how much is the machine value? 150 nilama. 150,000 into 10% means 15,000. 15,000. So machine depreciation is an admin expense. Machine depreciation 15,000. Machine depreciation 15,000. And here accumulated depreciation 15,000. Accumulated depreciation 15,000. The adjustments you can do like this. And do remember, majority of the marks are given for the adjustments, not for the writing of the values which is there in the trial balance. Not for writing the values which is there in the trial balance, marks are given for the adjustments mostly. Next one. Debtors should be write-off 3,000. Bad debt. The bad debt is a distribution expense. Two places. So how many times I have told? This one we did lot of times. Bad debt 3,000. One place. Bad debt will reduce the debtors 3,000. The second place. That's all. Now you can finish the question. Here, what's the cost of sales? 290 minus 30, 260,000. Gross profits. $350 minus 260, 90,000. Discount received 5,000. So here 95. Discount allowed 3,200. Here 12,500. What is the total? 18,700. Here 14,000. 8,000. Total 37,000. Now we have to do the hidden adjustment. I told you this question has a hidden adjustment. What is that hidden adjustment? This question has a hidden adjustment. What is that? Everyone stop writing and listen. Stop writing. Stop writing. Navattanda, liyaneka navattanda. Stop writing. Our bank loan is 50,000 lamai. For the 50,000 interest rate 15%. So 50,000, 15% means lamai. It is 7,500. Our interest expense is 7,500. Okay, paid amount paid amount only you can find in the trial balance. That is this 3,000. Not paid amount, this is recorded, paid and recorded. That's why it is there in the trial balance. Not paid amount එක අපි හොයාගන්න. we have to find the not paid amount. Out of 7,500, 3,000 paid means not paid 4,500. Not paid 4,000. So we give questions in this one. So not paid amount only we have to record. Paid amount already recorded. So here increase this by 4,500, one place, two places. Increase the expense by 4,500. Not yet paid, it's a current liability. Accrued interest. Loan interest. Accrued loan interest 4,500. Accrued loan interest 4,500. Now we can finish the question. Here 7,500. What is the total expense? 37,000, 18,000, 25,000, 25,000, 55,700, 56,200, 63,200 if I am not mistaken. 63,200. I need a confirmation on that. Let me check. 18,700 plus 37,000 plus 7,500. Correct. 63,200. And what is the profit? $6,800, 26,800, 31,800. So go and put it under the capital. Profits will increase the equity. Profits 31,800. So building cost is 4 lakhs. No depreciation in this question, 0. Then here 4 lakhs. Machinery cost is 150. Depreciation 15,000. 135,000. So only first two columns we have to close it. After that, this names and everything not applicable. 550, 15, 535,000. Here 27,000, 7,300. 34,300, 64,300. 64,300. $300, 9, 599, 300. Here 500,000, 531,800. Bank loan 50,000. 17,500. How much is total equity and liability? Get the value. 531,800 plus 50,000 plus 17,500, 599,300. 599,300. So no point of balancing. Huh? I have told you. For the balancing, no marks. Marks are allocated for these headings and for the adjustments mainly. That's the entire year. Baga has earned only a profit of 31,800. I'll just show for you generally how the marks are allocated. For this one mark. For writing this value, another 1 mark. Okay. And for this accumulated depreciation here, 1 mark, 3 marks. And here for the depreciation, another 1 mark, 4 marks. Here 1 mark, 5 marks. Here 1 mark, 6 marks. Here 1 mark, 7 marks. And here 1 marks, 8 marks. Here 9 marks. And including this heading, 1 mark, 10 marks. Out of this 10, they will see certain 8 and they will different examiners different ways. Sometimes even you do an adjustment properly, they will not. Sometimes the marks will not be allowed. So these are key areas where generally marks are allocated. As I told you, for the adjustments they are allocating marks, for the headings they are allocating marks, not allocating marks for the balancing. General, yeah. But if you have time, it's better to balance it off full and fully. Better. So if you all are done, just give me a confirmation with the letter D. Then we'll get into the next paper. Two thousand and 17. Paper 1. Question 33. On 1st January 2050, a machine was purchased for 600,000. Lifetime 5. End of the lifetime, scrap value is 100,000. Scrap. Lifetime 5 years. This is important. They are asking the accumulated depreciation. As at 31st December 2016. Good. So you purchase the machine on 1st January 15. Then the first year will be over 1st January 16 or 31st December 15 or 1st January 16. The dates are same. And from 1st January 16 again 31st December 16. Okay. Or 1st January 17. Everything is same. Then what you have to understand, this asset is depreciated 2 years. Year 1 year, year 1 year. Altogether asset is depreciated 2 years. So accumulated depreciation means total depreciation. Total depreciation up to this day is what they ask. Up to 31st March 2016 is what they ask. So we will calculate the depreciation first. Depreciation equals cost minus scrap divided by useful life. Cost is 600, scrap is 100. 600,000 minus 100,000, useful life 5 years. Then 500,000 divided by 5 years, 100,000 for a year. For a year, 100,000. Avruddakata 100. Then here first year 100,000, second year 100,000. Then till this day, in total how much they have depreciated? Up to this date, total they have depreciated 200,000. That is the answer. 200,000 is there in the third option. Total depreciation as at 31st December 2006. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Question 34. Question 34. Ensuring the building of the business on 1st July. Yeah. 80,000 paid annual insurance. For the entire year, you have paid 80. Correct statement. What you have to understand, here our accounting year end is how much? Insurance fee indicated in statement of profit or loss as at 31st December 2016, 18,000. So you see here. 31st December 16. Starting date would have been 1st January 16. No? When did I take the insurance, Lamani? 1st July. 1st July 16 only I took the insurance. I made a payment of 18,000 for the entire year. But understand, මෙදාට අපි accounts හදද්දී for this particular day when we are making accounts, only how many months relevant? July, August, September, October, November, December. මාස 6යි. So for us, accounting for the accounting period relevant only 6 months after. But I have made the payment for 1 year. Then how to find the 6-month amount? 18,000 again. It's for 12 months. How much is the 6 months? 9,000. Then what you have to understand, out of this 18,000, 9,000 for this year. This year expense. Another 9,000 I have paid it for the next year. That means future expense paid early. Future expense paid early. Over the mic, prepaid expense. Prepaid expense. Future expenses paid early. We will call it as prepaid expense. So this is wrong. For the income statement, 9,000 tama expense. Not accrued insurance. It's not accrued insurance. It is prepaid insurance. Not a current liability. Prepaid insurance is a current asset. Prepaid insurance is a current asset. Api gana gatta. Prepaid insurance, accrued income, current assets. Future insurance, now itself you have to. Future expenses, now itself you have current assets. This is also wrong. This is the correct answer. So fourth option is the correct answer. Okay. So now we have that set of questions. Let's do it. A set of questions is there, we have to do it. Following are financial statements prepared by a trainee accounts clerk. So generally, you do remember, නිකන් මතක තියාගන්න, when they give something called trainee accounts clerk, trainees ලා ඉන්නවනේ. උන් වැරදි කරනවා. Yes. Set of questions, generally it is there in all the papers here. Here, 35 to 40. Here, 33 to 40. Generally it is there in all the papers. So, financial statements and financial statements in adjustments. Financial, that means unit number 4 and 5. Financial statements and financial statements with adjustments. Highly tested 2 units. Those 2 units are connected. So you can't separate them. අරගේ base knowledge එක අරගන්න ඒකටම adjustment කරන ඊළඟ unit. Lot of marks you will be getting. Minimum, I would say, minimum 13 වගේ minimum වෙනවා. In your paper 1, 5 to 6 MCQs will be there. In your paper 2, 8 mark question surely it will be there. So approximately take 13 to 15 marks in ඔයාගේ paper එකට approximately 13 to 15 marks you will be getting from the financial statements and the adjustment. So let's do it. So what I was telling is, when they say this trainee account clerk, not every time. Mistakes karna. These buggers do mistakes. So we will have to find out the correct values. First one, they are asking us to find the cost of sales. Question 35. Cost of sales, opening inventory. So how much is the opening inventory? So we have started the business now only. Yeah. Account clerk which was started. So we cannot have an opening inventory. Opening inventory in there because now only we have started the business. Purchase 160,000. Carriage inwards, loading, unloading. Carriage inwards is there 5,000. Loading, unloading is not there. We have to take the closing stock. Closing stock, where are you? Motor vehicles, furniture, bidders, cash balance. Capital. Net profits. Bank loan. Creditors, accrued bank. Now this question has a problem. They have not given the closing stock. So then if that's the case, we have to approach the other way, no? 56,000 advertising, rent, bank loan, interest, electricity charges, discount allowed, and discount received. Okay. So no closing stock information is given. Fine. We take it as 0. Then your cost of sales 165,000. Let's see whether that answer is there. Yes, it's there. Answer is the second option. Second option. Next, they're asking the gross profits. I'll do it here. Sales 250. Cost of sales 165. Then gross profits 85,000. Which option? It's there in the first option. Okay. What are they asking next? The total of establishment and administration expense indicated in the statement of profit or loss. So let's see. This is admin expense. This is finance expense. Discount allowed is distribution expense. That's all. Then admin expenses we have 12,000 and 2,500. 14,500. Question 37. 12,000 and 2,500. 14,500 is there in the third option. Next one. What is the amount of bank interest paid in cash? How much bank interest that they have paid in cash? So people, bank loan interest 6,000. 13. Interest expense 6,000. You have a paid amount, not yet paid. Not yet paid amount. So out of that not yet paid amount, you can find it here, 2,500. Good bank loan interest. Then paid amount is how much now? 3,500. 3,500. Which option? Stay in the second option. It's there in the second option. second option. Next one. Question 39. The last two questions. The increase of equity. So you see lamai who business එක පටන් ගත්තේ Bugger started the business by investing, employing means investing, by investing 330 on 1st January 16. Bugger invested 330,000 and started. 31st December 16. What is the equity lamai? What is the total of equity? Equity means addition of capital and net profits as per the balance sheet. 330 plus 56,500. So this has gone up to 386,500. So it has increased by how much? 56,500. Simply from the profit amount, it has increased. So 56,500 is there in which option? It's there in the second option. Second option. Second option. Do the last. Question 40. Select the answer which shows the total assets and total liability of the business. So total assets directly they have given no 475 here. Total assets directly they have given 475. So our answer cannot be this one. Our answer cannot be this one. What's the total liability? Addition of these three elements. Bank loan 50,000. Total liability. Bank loan 50,000. Creditors 36,000. Accrued interest 2,500. And what's the total liability lamai? 86,000, 88,500. Total assets they have given in the question. So that's there in the fourth option. That's there in the fourth option. 475,000, 88,500 is there in the fourth option. So that's it for the day. See you next week. Bye bye.